This one isn't. This one is sort of closed because, you know, that, and also because of the fact that it closes it off there. But yeah, it was still considered an open background, you know, with, you know, some stuff, and it was still a pretty big, you know, place. So yeah. And yeah, you know, and it had almost all of Mario's moves too, so it was pretty cool. And yeah, and that was Super Mario 64. And while I'm preparing, you know, the next one, which was in the Mario life cycle and considered the black sheep of the entire series, let me just go talk about it for a second. Yeah, it wasn't really loved by many people, actually. It was more hated, really. Nothing, well, I mean, nobody really hated it. They just didn't really like it. There wasn't really anything bad about it. Of course, there wasn't really anything that good about it either. So it was sort of a pretty average, you know, ish game. Nothing really that stood out to it, you know, except for a few key points. And one little machine that kind of made everybody hate the world. You know, kind of weird. But it doesn't matter. And we're going to have to switch gears now from the revolutionary N64 to the traditional GameCube. Of course, I have a GameCube, but it, you know, it doesn't really work that much. Kind of funny, considering my N64 still works. So before my hour is up, I'm going to go show you the GameCube. And yes, I'm showing, for the first time ever, I'm showing my Wii menu. And yes, it is pretty cool-ish, and then it fails. So, let's see, here's the GameCube menu. Start. Just going to go show you the gameplay of it, and I'm going to go tell you a little bit about it. Super Mario Sunshine, yes. And after that, it has yes. And it did look pretty sophisticated with that. And then that M shows Super Mario Sunshine's Shadow Mario. And yeah, there we go, with Mario being all cool and whatnot. I have beaten this game, except I guess I cleared my data. Whatever. And the reason behind it is mostly because okay, wow, I'm really early in the game. Is because first of all, almost all the levels are in a tropical theme, so nothing really that stood out from everything. And this little machine doodad and whatnot. So yeah, it's actually really cool. I always thought of it as a pretty cool thing. But some of the moves that Mario had in the last game were kind of lost. Kind of like an example is the long jump. It was no longer needed because of the hover thing used that, so they didn't need it. Another big difference is that now Yoshi. Wait, do I have Yoshi? I hope I do, because yeah, I don't have Yoshi. But Yoshi was actually a star of this game. So yeah, that was also another thing. There was also different nozzles that let you do different things. And yeah, there were some other things, but nothing that really stood out. And yeah, so you could also do some fancy little things, and there were some outside things there too, so such as, I don't know, like helping this guy out. So yeah, it's really simple, really, nothing that extravagant, nothing that really satisfied Super Mario fans, but for some reason, I always thought of it as a pretty cool game. My favorite island was Peanut Park, but yeah. And that's basically it. Time to go show the next series, which you guys will all know. And it was actually a really, really good series for it at the time. What was it, you may ask? Oh, yeah. You guys all know it. I mean, like, you'd be kind of blind by not knowing it. because it's been one of the most influential games of all time. It started off Wii's lineup, and it kind of made it into something that made it believable that it was a pretty good game. And, yeah. So, you know, let's go to the thing. Yeah, see that Wii disc spin. And have Super Mario Galaxy. I need a nunchuck. And yeah, there's not really much to say about it. My battery's low, but I don't care. And then after that, let me just do something. I'm just reconnecting it to my Legend of Zelda thing. Okay, and we're just going to connect it to this one, and then I'm gonna go show you the gameplay of it, and I'm gonna go talk about why it was so revolutionary. Why? Well, mostly because it actually incorporated... Oops, sorry. Yeah, mostly because it actually used motion controls that, even though that they weren't used that much, they were actually used pretty well. And like such as those Sling Star stages, and mostly the spin attack was actually a nice addition. And also, not only that, but the fact that you can... It just feels so much like an N64 game in that it feels so natural. And it's actually a really nice game to have. Of course, some people, you know, didn't like it, and some people didn't, you know, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there are some people who don't like this game, and because there's always going to be a person who hates a certain game or who loves a certain game. But yeah, and it always felt nice, especially to go do that Sling Star all the time, and it always felt natural. And yeah, it kind of marked Super Mario Galaxy and how it made such a cool new entrance to the Wii, which although it was pretty cool, the Wii really wasn't that good of a system on its own, even though it did win this year's E3. And it was actually a pretty good E3 though. So yeah. And now we're going to move on to the sequel of this game. Let me just go to the Wii menu. And that is... Well, I mean, like, this is actually one of the first... Actually, one of the... And now we're gonna move on to a sequel that is going to move on, and then after that I'm going to go talk about the documentation of Child's Play, and then see if we have any more time left over to go do the rest, to go use what little time we have to go play the Mario Marathon. Okay? And yeah, it has Super Mario Galaxy 2, and then I'll just go talk about it and how it actually improved a lot on Super Mario Galaxy by having better graphics, a much more involved control style, and limiting the planets to only 3 instead of, what, 8? Yeah, but still, and let's see, it was actually a nice little hub world here, where like plenty of things, a lot of interactions, much more lighthearted style, and it was pretty nice altogether. And also the fact that you can get Yoshis is a nice fact as well, and how they actually had a really nice impact on the thing. Like, see, it was a really nice inclusion, and yeah. And it was really nice to go think about it and then to go see how this game was made. And I hope you liked seeing the Mario through the years. And now we're going to go back to... And now we're actually going to go back to something... And now we're actually going to go back to, I'm sorry, to the Child's Play thing. To the documentation on Child's Play. So, hang tight. And now, what we're going to do is, we're actually going to use, wait, I'm sorry. Let me just see something. Yeah, here we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to go see the Wikipedia's account of Child's Play. And basically the gist of Child's Play is so that gamers can give back to the community. And this is through here. And Child's Play is a charitable organization, see, and it was actually founded by the authors of the popular computer and video games based webcomic Penny Arcade. And yeah, they founded Child's Play to improve the lives of sick children by donating toys and games to hospitals worldwide. And it actually sets up gift wish lists on Amazon.com in case you want to do that. And 5% of all of the money that goes to them actually goes to the administration. And it's nice, too. And, yeah. There's been they've gotten a lot of money over the years, so please donate to them, and a lot of good stuff could happen. Thank you. And now, I think we're going to go back to what we've planned. We're going to go back to the marathon and see how far we get, especially since we have another 2 quarters to go to. So yeah. Okay, so hang tight for a second. Hang tight. And now we're gonna go to okay, and there, we're gonna have, yeah, and there. So, also, remember, donate to the children in need. We would really appreciate it. And now that we're getting back into the main game, it's even more apparent. So please, please help, please. And now that we're there, let's go into Super Mario Bros. 3. Might as well try to go complete as much of that game as possible. Okay, file D. Okay, 1 player game, come on. World 7, level 1. Mario start. And now jumping to pipe to pipe. And it's actually kind of nice how they added that pipe leaking thing. It was a really nice detail. I think they only added that in this game, in this remake. So, but still a nice touch to put in even a remake. So still, and down. Okay, good. And right there. So, boom, easy. Now after that, do that, do that, do that. Aw, dang it. Sorry.